Hey everyone, I'm Army Gaming, welcome back to my channel, and welcome to Monster Legends. So, I've been reading through the comments of my previous videos, and one of the questions that keeps coming up has to do with Monster Cell Week, and, well yeah, just essentially Monster Cell Week. So, the recurring question is, what monsters are worth investing gems for? And so, that's why I'm making this video. So, from this very moment, keep a close eye on the shop. You will find lots of express offers. The discounted monsters will change every few hours. So, you're probably wondering, Armor, who should I be on the lookout? What monsters are worth it? So let's scroll and see some of them. Sunblast, the amazing Team Race Denier has cooldown activation and possession. We have Wang Zhou, he starts the game off by draining 50% of enemy stamina. We have Zygarde, he can block resurrection, has anticipation, can hold a revival lessons. We have Gangster Vanoss. We have some pretty good monsters on here, right? We have good old Jelotron. This monster is immune to control and is super powerful. We have everyone's favorite extra turner, the OG Voltic, can attack non-stop. Voltar, Sella, a ton. I love Tyros. Monster design, gorgeous monster design. So we have a lot of monsters, right? We have a ton of monsters that are on sale. And in my personal opinion, I do not believe any monster is worth purchasing for gems. They're just not worth it, in my opinion, okay? Now, the one thing I always like to say is that if there's a specific monster that you love, like you love the monster design, you've always wanted the monster, maybe you've been playing for 2 years or a year, and look at McBlood's teeth. Maybe there's a monster you've always wanted. If purchasing that monster is going to make you happy, go ahead and get that monster because it'll make you happy, and that's all that matters at the end of the day, that you do something that makes you happy. But in terms of being competitive, or in terms of getting a monster that's good, no monster, in my personal opinion, is worth it for gems. At least no monster that is available. Right, if you guys saw my previous video on the top 3 legendary monsters, there's really 3 monsters that I think stand out above the rest. Grakon, Wormlad, and Madam Fusion. None of those are regular monsters. Grakon and Wormlad, they are elite monsters. They can only be purchased with elite souls. And then Madam Fusion, she's a quest monster, so I don't believe she'll ever be available on a regular sale like this. Like, there's a ton of monsters, but I don't think we'll ever see Madam Fusion. And we definitely won't see Grakon or Wormlad. I'm trying to see if there's anyone I can find. But yeah, just looking through them all, no monster is worth it, okay? That's my personal opinion in terms of actual usability. With that being said, plus, not to mention, we are changing toward a very mythic era, so you don't really need those legendary monsters to be competitive. And you might be thinking, Armor, what about getting the monsters for breeding events? Well, in my personal opinion, and hopefully this makes sense, if I don't believe any legendary monster is really worth investing gems for, then realistically I don't really think legendary monsters are worth investing for breeding purposes, because until we get a breedable mythic, again, breeding these legendary monsters isn't gonna be that helpful. Now, with that being said, if you are actually interested in getting a legendary monster, let us go to a shop. This is actually the best way to get a monster, by purchasing the cells in the monster lab. So do not get the monster from the shop, but instead get these cells from the monster lab. Now, here's what happens. Here's the truth. When you purchase 10 cells for 14 gems, you can purchase another 10 cells for 14 gems. So for 28 gems, you get 20 cells. Okay, pay attention to that number. For 28 gems, you get 20 cells. But then you'll notice that once you purchase 20 cells, the cost will actually go up for the legendary monster. I have a video somewhere out there. I'm gonna try to find it, and I'll probably put footage of what happens. But basically, the cost goes up. So if you kept purchasing until you got 80 cells or 100 cells, it's a lot more expensive than just purchasing the monster outright. But this is where being patient comes in handy. So if for 28 gems you get 20 cells, why don't you do this? Let's say you have, hopefully you're in a team. Let's say you really want to get Mega Ostium, right? Mega Ostium. And let's say you have a teammate that really wants Super Tomato. What you should do is purchase your 20 Mega Ostium cells for 28 gems, and then use another 28 gems to purchase Super Tomato cells, and tell your teammate, hey teammate, can you purchase Mega Ostium cells for me, and then we can trade? So now, it's almost like you spent another 28 gems for Mega Ostium cells. It's just going to cost a while, it's going to take a while because you need to trade with your teammate, and you give them Super Tomato cells, you get Mega Ostium cells, and it's a win-win. So that is the most effective way to get any legendary monster that's available in the Monster Cell Week. So that would be my advice. Do not purchase the monster outright. Instead, purchase the individual cells from Monster Cell Week. But again, in terms of like actual usability, I don't think anyone's really worth it. Look, you can get Copycat, who's a pretty good monster, but you could also get Copycat from the Magic Stones Island right now. So hopefully you participated in that, and hopefully you have enough stones to pick up some monsters. And by the way, just to prove to everyone that I love Helguden and I'm getting Helguden cells, here is me getting Helguden. Oh, I ran out. I can probably get more soon enough. Honestly, I might have to gem this. Where is it? Where's Magic Stones? 8 hours left. Yeah, I'll just pay the 2 gems. Awesome, got my 45, so I should be more than enough. And the cool thing about the Magic Stones is free to play, you can definitely get it. So that's free 75 cells of either Kain, Helguden, or Dragar. But I'm after my Helguden cells because this is a monster I want to rank up. Just because the dodge area mechanic is still going to be pretty powerful moving forward until we get a monster, mythic monster that can pierce or something, and then we run into some trouble. But I don't perceive that happening for a while. Or until we get a mythic monster that can trait disable extra turn, and then, you know, I really don't see that happening for a while. But yeah, that's essentially it. I know you guys probably want me to go through all the monsters and tell you guys my opinion on everyone, but I mean, that's basically my opinion. No legendary monster, other than those 3 I mentioned in my previous video, are worth it. And I did see a lot of comments about, hey man, that's why I made the video. No, I'm kidding. I did see a lot of comments about certain monsters that I didn't really talk about. The reason I didn't talk about certain monsters, it's because the monsters that people kept bringing up were the Forsaken monsters. Now, here's the thing about the Forsaken monsters. Unfortunately, the Forsaken monsters, you cannot get those monsters anymore. When SocialPoint released the Forsaken monsters, they made it so the only way to get Forsaken monster additional cells is if you got those monsters in the first place. So, watch, these monsters right here that have this symbol right here, right here, Rebulus, that sign right there, Naziel's, and like all those are Forsaken monsters. For example, PVZ Ronin, I don't have it on this account. I can never get it on this account unless SocialPoint releases a way to get them. But as of right now, there is no way to get the Forsaken monsters. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is, and a lot of them are really powerful. Now, the downside to the Forsaken monsters is the only way to rank them up is with their own individual cells. So you can't even use Elementium, you can't do anything like that. So it sucks that, realistically, we can't rank these up. So I didn't think it was worth putting them in the top legendary video because you can't rank them up. Whereas with Wormlad and Grakon, you can grind them out, you can get the monster, and then you can level them up, you can rank them up with Elementium and Elemental cells. So that's why I didn't bother mentioning Forsaken monsters. And then there are a few other like elite good monsters, but I didn't feel like mentioning them either because, again, Grakon and Wormlad, those are top tier. Those are like the 2 must-haves at least of the time right now recording the video. And now another reason I don't really recommend focusing on legendary monsters, spending gems on legendary monsters, is because, again, we are in an era of mythic monsters, and realistically you can get mythic monsters even if you're a brand new account. Again, I've proven this on the level 30 account I created. But like, for example, right now we're gonna have this Aliens Tale event being released soon, and if you have 150 gems saved, if you have 150 gems to 200 gems, you should be able to walk away with this brand new mythic monster. So think about that. If you can spend, let's say you spend like 200 gems on that mythic monster, isn't that better than spending 276 gems, 345 gems on a legendary monster? So please don't bother with the legendaries when you can instead get mythics. And just to show you that level, level 30 account, here I am right here. Look, I'm actually level 36 now. I've been leveling up because I've been leveling up stuff, planting mythic habitats. This account has 220 gems, so I'm ready for Ilian. And let's see what I've accomplished. If you scroll down here, I have Unspeakable level 50. Now he's level 50. I have Unspeakable at level 50. I have this monster right here at level 60. And, I mean, I'm good to go, right? So, again, free-to-play account, 100% free-to-play, proving that you can get the mythic monsters. You should always be able to get the mythic monster from the pass, right? The Legends Pass monster should be 100% easy to get. All you literally got to do is play the game, do the daily tasks, do the weekly tasks. They'll get done. It's easy enough. Oh, cool. I'm going to get the avatar. Yes, Necromancer. So, watch. All I got to do is make it to the end. And before I do that, let me scroll to the right. Let me activate this. That'll help me out. By the way, these are the elite souls. This is how you get Wormlad and Grakon. So let me collect that. But yeah, look. Dr. Watts, by the end of the month, I should be able to get Dr. Watts. Ilian, I'm going to be able to get for 150 gems. The next maze monster that gets released, I'm going to be able to get that maze monster. So that's 3 monsters I'm going to get. I already got Unspeakable. I already have Tiny. And look, who's hatching over here? Quetzalcoatl. So that's 6 mythic monsters I'll have in this account in less than like 2 months' time. So you don't need to focus on legendary habitats. And it's funny, look at what I have. I have a Frostwrath right here. I have a rank 1 Frostwrath. To be honest, I will never use this rank 1 Frostwrath. This monster is just here to produce gold for me. So yeah, that's literally his only purpose. And if you scroll around, look, I actually have 1 mythic habitat, 2 mythic habitats, 4 mythic habitats. I focus more already on creating mythic habitats than legendary habitats. Legendary habitats, I have this one for Frostwrath. I have this one for my Marquee. And so it's funny because I already have more mythic habitats because I expect myself to get more mythic monsters than legendaries. Now, it is true that I do have legendary monsters. If I go to my hatchery, no wait, if I go to monster, right? And I sort by legendary, thanks to the 72-hour challenge, I've been able to get a lot of the legendary monsters even ranked up. But realistically, in terms of actual gameplay and competitive gameplay, I won't be using them. For collection purposes, yeah. For gold collection, yeah. So, I mean, I definitely do want to kind of clean up a bit. I want to put more legendary habitats and just have them walking around. So maybe I can buy another island. I mean, I have the gold for it, right? 10 mil, 20 mil. I can buy islands 5 and 6. I really want island 6. Maybe I can make this my mythic habitat, and then start making the rest legendary habitats. I've started making more of the elemental ones just so I can start breeding some other monsters. Just honestly, the only reason I'm breeding other monsters is for the weekly challenges. The ones where I have to breed a thunder, a metal, a light, and a nature. That's the only reason I am doing this and getting these random monsters. But realistically, I don't need this monster. Again, just for collection purposes, I'll probably sell it or whatever. But oh look, I have one here. Aw man, I guess I will sell this Thunder Eagle, place the Thunder Eagle if I can. So realistically, once again, if you are trying to be competitive, what you should be doing with your Thunder Eagles is you should be, not ranking up, you should be extracting your Thunder Eagles, any Thunder Eagle you get, extract the Thunder Eagle, and you should be stacking up on cells for Thunder Eagle and Green Asards. Watch, I already have 1,000 Thunder Eagle cells, so that's what you should be doing realistically. And instead of selling, you should be placing that Thunder Eagle. So there's Thunder Eagle, and then I'm allowed to do that. And look, I got a monster. Never gonna use this monster, don't really care for the monster. But it allows me to complete these challenges. So let me scroll down, and let's see. Breed 1 dark and light monster. Okay, I'll go ahead and do that, get myself 20 extra points. Go to breed, go to not there, go to dark, and there's a dark and light, and I guess I'll do another dark and light. Bam, and there we go. Got my 20 points. And so yeah, once again, I do not recommend getting any legendary monster other than the ones you saw in the video. And if you're a new account, it's going to take you a while before you're able to get Wormlad and Grackon and Mad Infusion. And maybe by the time you can actually get them, they're not even in the meta anymore. So just don't worry about legendary monsters. If you have a ton of gems, save those gems, use them on the Aliens Tell event, use them for a team race if you're in a competitive team race, or if you're a new account, upgrade your hatchery, upgrade your... Make sure you have the breeding cave. There's going to be an El Colosso event coming soon, so maybe you can save for that if you want to try to get your Samael, if you want to try to beat the Nemesis Survival Dungeon. So there's better investment for gems than trying to get these random legendary monsters. Not random, but these legendary monsters that are in the shop. But with that being said, that's probably not what you wanted to hear, but that is my advice. So again, if you really love a monster and you want to get a monster, go for it. But if you do absolutely have to get a monster, I would just be patient and do it once again in Monster Cell Week and trade with a teammate if you can, because that's the most cost efficient. Again, 28 gems. For 28 gems, you can get 20 cells. And the cool thing about legendary monsters is that you can actually use elemental cells and elementium to craft them if you have 80 cells. So if you do 28 times 4, that's 112 gems. For 112 gems, you can get, again, it's not immediate, it takes patience. For 112 gems, you can get 80 cells of the legendary monster you want, and then you can craft the monster using elemental cells and elementium. So that's the most cost-efficient way to do it. So that's what I would recommend if you are going after a legendary. But if you just want to buy one outright, I can't recommend that. I seriously can't. So once again, the best advice, Monster Cell Week, purchase 28 gems worth, get your 20 cells, trade with a teammate. If not, just wait for the next Monster Cell Week, and every time you see the monster you want, purchase them, and that is the most cost-efficient way. If you really want to, you can get all 100 cells. It'll just cost you 130 gems. Still very cost efficient, but again, it's going to require time. It's going to require trading. So with that being said, this has been a video on the Monster Cell Week and what I think is worth going for. If you have any thoughts, any monster that you think might be worth it, let me know in the comments below. But the answer is probably going to be, for me, not worth it. But you can still try in the comments. Thank you very much, and remember to subscribe.